It's your boy Shay Baby, and we out here in the streets chopping it up.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm gonna do this.
Yo, they got to stay consistent with the beats.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it, yo. Check it. Then while we hold gats, you hold knives. When you sold apes, we sold pies. When you roll bikes, we drove fives. There's no comparison, son. Just embarrassing. I'm running with some of the baddest men in the whole New York. We hold the fort while you clap clats is holding. Player hating, pushing stolen whips. We at the dice game holding trips. Out of town throwing bricks, taking over. Cooking up coke with baking soda. I buy hot jewels and ice it down. While you go to the jewelry store with short dough, trying to bring the prices down. You better spread with them $30 kicks on or get whipped on. Knocked out cold and pissed on. Ella's a heavyweight with steady paper. You the type to go to jail for a petty caper. Then come home on good behavior. Talking about you no longer hard now, cause you're a man of God now. Yo, it's amazing. Ella's blazing, always been.
It's your boy Shay Baby, and we are outside at the Art Box, and I gotta tell you, the coffee is unbelievable. I just had a great interview with my man A Butter, but I gotta come back here and drink some coffee at least once a week now. Come get to tell them the address.
2144 Fifth Avenue, that's between 131st and 132nd Street in the heart of Harlem.
You heard it, 2144 Fifth Ave. Come get the best coffee, cappuccino, and hot chocolate. My man A Butter had hot chocolate, and he said it was crazy. Come down. You know what it is. Art Box. All right, man. Butter, we are here, man. Finally, man. This is a long time coming, man. We done planned this since the summertime. Saw you at the legendary Rucker. You was out there with the kids with the Nike thing, and you know it was good having you in the park. Fat Joe came through, you know what I mean? That's a good look for New York City. I saw T-Mark give you a pound. I saw T-Mark ass out there with Jadakiss out there in the Brooklyn Nets game, sitting front row. I seen him, you know what I mean? But that's crazy because that day that I went to Rucker Park, Fat Joe walked in there and honestly, he walked by the whole park and he stopped and saw you and he like gave you a pound and a hug and showed that it was love. Let's start this interview off with that. What's the relationship with Fat Joe?
Shout out to Fat Joe, man. Like when I say Fat Joe is my guy, like that's like family. When I was younger, like I said, I started off at the Rucker. I played with Tony Rosa. I won my first championship after 3 years with Tony Rosa. And then just those 3 years being competitive against Terror Squad, starting off with Vacant Lot. And I won with Cash Money Millionaires. But Fat Joe basically was like, I'm about to buy you out, but like, I'm not letting you be the reason why, you know what I'm saying? I keep being short going to that championship, you know what I'm saying? So he brought me out, you know what I'm saying? And he brought me to the family. He was taking me to Miami. You know, he came to my high school graduation. You know what I'm saying? He's done a lot in my life since the very first day that I met him and got cool with him. He's always stayed the same. And he's always been behind me. You know, that's the one thing I love about Fat Joe. You know, he's a real stand-up guy. He's a real family-orientated person. And all he ever asks from you is loyalty. So I've always stayed loyal to Joe because Joe always stayed loyal to me.
That's a fact. No, because the energy that he gave you when he walked in the park, you can see that it was real.
I got him them rings. You don't forget. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure I let him know I got him them rings. You know what I mean? Fat Joe's first 3 championships. You know what I mean? Fat Joe looked at me and was, you know, he felt like he made the right move to bring a whole lot of game to his team. So, you know, winning 2 in a row and then the 3rd game never happened, but the team didn't get off the bus. And, you know, we wound up winning that game, you know what I mean, for my 4th in a row, but 3 in a row with Fat Joe. So, like I said, you know, for him to get those championships, it was something that he's always wanted, you know what I mean, to experience in New York City, to have that stamp. And I'm just glad that I got a chance to experience that with him.
That's a fact. Now, whenever it comes to these interviews, you know, there's only a few of you guys out there that are really like, when it comes to that actual game or that actual, you know, just the street buzz, period. There's only a few of you guys out there. That's why I had to get this sit down.
You already know.
This interview ain't really about basketball. I just wanted to get that across because I just wanted that to be known because, you know, like when it comes to basketball, I feel like for the past, I would say, what years were that when you say you just got those 4 rings?
I started off playing in the Rucker in 1999.
Okay, so here we are talking 99 because you instantly came in there and did your numbers.
That's right.
So we talking 99 to now 2024. We talking 25 years ago.
That's right.
Seems like it was around the corner. Yeah,
time
no,
flies.
No, and I'm gonna tell you why you one of my favorites, and this is why I said this interview ain't just about basketball. Because when I first met you, I would say I was maybe a junior or a senior in high school. Now, of course, you playing with the Gauchos at this time. That was with you, Sickle. This is correct, that team, right?
Shout out to my man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, that was the backcourt.
That's
that was
right.
I always say, yo, when it came to...
Coop Kaba.
Yo, I tell niggas all the time, when it comes to that actual, them years that I played in the circuit, when it came to the backcourts, I felt like that was the toughest backcourt that I ever came across.
Sickle went to Providence.
100%.
Sickle went overseas. His son is actually nice right now, but you know, it's guys like that when you talk about that level of street ball, you know, a lot of us, you know, we got names out here because of, I believe, the competition that we played against. The competition against each other with the talent that was out there at the time, me growing up, 99, you know what I mean? As a 17-year-old, it was like you're playing against the Jamal Tinsleys, you playing against the Mark Jacksons, you playing against the, you know, Rafer Alstons. And these guys made it to the league. These guys.
Wait a minute, you say you played against Mark Jackson?
Yeah, Mark
Get
Jackson.
the fuck out of here.
Mark Jackson, shout out to Mark Jackson, but rest in peace, his brother Escalade.
Facts.
You know what I mean? He was my man. Me and him played together at Rucker Park, and he used to bring Mark Jackson. They both played for Def Jam.
Got you.
So shout out to Bimmy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll never forget that Bimmy was bringing Mark Jackson all the time to play in the Rucker.
Now, how was that experience when you met Mark Jackson?
I mean, like I said, true New York hero. Like when I say hero, meaning looking at the people that was before me, that's why I always put hashtag know your history. You know what I mean? Looking at Mark Jackson, it's like, you know, that was a guy that when you seen what St. John's felt for him, and then to watch him go into the NBA and to be able to play with the Knicks, to be able to play with the Pacers, but knowing that someone from your city that wasn't as fast as you or as athletic as you, but understood the game. Like that was the part right there that I respected most about Mark. It was like, if you learned the game, that regardless of how skilled you are, you still had to have a mentor of the game to be able to be remembered and things of that nature. So much respect to Mark Jackson for that. You know what I mean? I was inspired by seeing that from him. 100%. Especially even seeing today, like that IQ, to be seeing him as an NBA commentator, once was an NBA head coach. He should have a head coaching job now, but like I said, I could still take him commentating analyst, you know what I mean? Because he's still giving the people his thoughts on how he sees the game and from his perspective and view. So much love to Mark Jackson. 100%.
Now, the only reason why I brought up, I said, oh man, you played against Mark is, of course, you know, he's running around with your cousin right now.
That's right, yeah. Yo, shout out to that. It is what it is. You already know.
100%.
He didn't want the bag, but you know, Killer came with the bag.
100%. All right, so A-Butter, man, let's I don't want to say erase basketball for a minute, but I want to start because, first of all, season 3 is about to be nasty.
Streets first.
I seen you outside with Dave East
Streets
the other day.
first.
Yo, and I was telling you earlier when we first got here, man, one thing about you, I gotta say, you're giving niggas that whole Drink Champs vibe. You got a whole staff, you know, everything was legit on scene with the Dave East interview.
I had to work that.
How do you think season 3 is gonna go?
Season 3, I believe, like I said, God's plan. You know, I took my time. I didn't rush. I stayed true to who I was and my vision and what I wanted to do for the vision that God gave me. And I feel like when God give you an idea, He'll give you the clients as well. So, you know, I tap myself on the back for standing for 8 years to see myself finally getting, you know what I'm saying, sponsorship. And season 3, like I said, it's different. You know, season 1, I was in Engine Room. Shout out to Engine Room for all the love that they gave me down there on Wall Street. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's where y'all was?
Yeah, my first season was in Engine Room.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Got all my audio done by top great engineers. You know what I'm saying? So season 2 was online because due to the pandemic.
Facts.
And now season 3, as you can see, with the production team about with me, I'm pulling up. I'm going city to city. I partnered with Mochify. Mochify is a financial service company. And I'm just, you know, going to different communities. You know, we got.
Oh, no, you definitely showing love because we out here in our RT Box.
Yeah.
Cafe.
Art Box.
Art Box. That's how you say it.
Black
Yo, I was
owned.
trying to say, how the hell do you pronounce it?
Art Box.
Art Box. So nice. And you know what?
Okay.
It's different.
You don't
unless,
spell it like art, but art.
So nice.
O-U-R-T.
100%. I said RT Box.
Basically, it's our box. You know what I mean?
So I feel like I'm illiterate. I ain't gonna lie.
Black owned cafe.
Once y'all said that,
black woman owned cafe.
100%. And she's so cool. She gave me some good coffee. I'm a coffee drinker too, so you know this is definitely a vibe. All right. The reason why I wanted to talk about season 3 was it's just the network alone from watching season 1. But to be honest with you, brother, you're one of the guys that gave me the inspiration to even jump online because, you know, I was an artist in the game, brother. You know what I mean? When I left the basketball game, when I put the ball down, you know, I went and jumped in a couple record deals. My brother, you know, produced with Swiss. And, you know, we was just a part of Rough Riders musically
Shout out to
at a young
Swiss.
age. Shout out to Swiss.
He just did the big beat for Cam on that Kif project.
100%. That was fire with the pink. And you at the pink table. It was meant to be.
Yo, you already know we're in Harlem.
100%. Yeah, so like your network and your connections to the streets and the game is unbelievable. So I want to start from when you jumped off the porch because niggas really never talk to you about the A butter that how the hell we know basketball can get you friends and get you a long way.
Facts.
But you can see this is bigger than basketball. The love these guys have for you. Because they don't show the same guys that were shooting these hoops the same love.
Exactly.
They don't even talk to these niggas no more. I'm being for real with you. Because I look at myself one of them niggas too because like, you know, I never played in Rucker. I never went past Rucker and UDC as far as playing street ball. I'm gonna be honest with you. But you could tell niggas, I'm sitting here with you. So it's bigger than basketball. So I know that for myself that, you know, for niggas to rock with me and the way they rocking with you is something different. Let's start from there, Butter. At a young age, how did all of this start to come up to get the name Butter? Because, you know, niggas, I watched all your interviews. Only thing they asked you about was giving niggas 40 in the Rucker. We seen that.
That's true.
It's on YouTube. We seen that already.
Fact.
Let's talk about Baby A.
I grew up in Harlem, 138th, 139th, 7th Avenue. So right around the corner for me, we coming up on 25 years of losing Big L. Rest in peace to Big L. I literally grew up with a real live legend.
Wait a minute. You was around. So
I personally knew Big L.
how old were you when
I grew up, like I said, my whole life. He lived right around the corner from me. So I grew up my whole life going to 39th Street Park, watching him rap, seeing him as a person. He was a very big Michael Jordan fan. You couldn't tell him nothing about Michael Jordan. And he had all the Jordans. Every pair of Jordans that ever came out, Big L had them.
That's crazy.
You know, to walk around the corner, to see Big L, to walk further down to Lenox Avenue to see Mase, to walk the 40th at Lenox to see Cameron, to walk the 42nd and see Dame Dash, to walk the 44th and see Votto and Jay Mills. It's like, I feel like I grew up around a bunch of celebrities and legends that I didn't even know that was gonna be celebrities and legends, which means coming from Harlem, that's what you could become if you see it just like they did. And I think that that's where A Butter came from. I've learned how most people call me A Butter because I'm so smooth. Everything that I do is like smooth, and you know, my energy. So a lot of people show me love because, you know, if they say if you want a friend, be one. You know what I'm saying? So I've always learned how to be a friend. I've never tried to use my friends or take advantage of people that I call friends, because I kind of like was raised with my mother and father in the house that kind of like put me on to, you know, respect, integrity, things of that nature. My father was very big on things of that. So, you know, I kind of always use that with my relationships. And like I said, you know, a lot of guys like Cameron, my family, a lot of guys like Mase, they all took a liking in me just off my character, my swag. You know what I'm saying? Like young, handsome, fly nigga from Harlem. Look, and again, I never used their identity to become who I was.
Facts.
I've always had my own identity. And it's like, I think that when you hang with people that have an identity, all you can really learn is how to be stronger in who you are. So I'm kind of like grateful that I grew up and met and built with a lot of these guys in my community, because like I said, you know, who would have knew all of those diamonds was growing up in this rough concrete neighborhood?
100%.
You know what I mean? Tiana Taylor was on 136th and 7th.
That's
hey,
crazy.
Yo, I'm trying to let you know what was all around me. Yandy went to FDA. Yandy from Love and Hip Hop. I'm trying to tell you, all of these people from Harlem, they all grew up right here in central west side of Harlem. So they all like right here. You know what I mean? Max B. Shout out to Max B. Can't wait till he come home. He grew up on 141st between Lenox and 7th. So we saw him all the time on 140th and Lenox. You get what I'm trying to say?
That's a fact. So wait, so that means back playing in, now you gotta remember, 145th used to be Rucker.
That's right.
So you was like the hometown when you played in there. So you must have been playing with Abyssinian in there.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a late bloomer, bro. Most people, like I said, in their story.
No, I just said I met you junior, senior year.
They don't really ask these questions. I didn't start playing basketball until I was like 12, 13 years old.
Nah, you capping now, fam.
That's real talk.
What?
Think about when I was playing at Gauchos.
I told you I met you junior, senior year.
You see what I'm trying to say?
And I came up in there since 7, 8 years old.
Right before I came to Gauchos in Riverside, you got to understand, I was able to play for St. Mark's because that's in my neighborhood on 138th between Lenox and 5th. You play with these teams in your local neighborhood because they don't have the sponsorship to travel like Gauchos in Riverside. So in order for you to get that exposure, you get what I'm saying, you got to go and play with them. That's one of the things that I want to try to like help the next generation look at. Go back, and the same people in your interviews that you showing love to and say that they helped you, they got little programs and foundations and things that they've been doing and still keep doing. Go invest in them. And I'll just give you an example, like most people don't understand. That's why I'm always speaking so highly of Tony Rosa and the Mustangs. He's been doing that since Ali Mo, rest in peace. 100%. He's been doing it for so many kids. And it's like to see him today still not have any sponsorship. And that's not something that he will go and ask for. But what I'm saying is, if guys recognize that the
they
people
supposed to be
like
throwing
that,
it back, 100%.
To come back
he did so much for the,
you know,
for the town.
And we won't have to just depend on
100%.
a Riverside or Gauchos. Those programs are so big, knowing that Millbank and Minnesink and so many other places have had and raised kids, but people not coming back and investing into those people to help them be able to get to another level. So
no, that's a big fact. No, that's
what I'm doing in the community. That's what I'm trying to get back around. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's always gonna go back to basketball because that's part of what I'm showing in Streets First. Whether it's a basketball, it's a microphone, whatever your niche is, that there's so much that can grow from that. You know what I mean? Facts. It's not just that. You know what I mean? Just that opens up doors to so much else. You know what I mean? 100%.
Nah, because you know.
Look at you. You're doing a podcast.
Nah,
I mean, you love basketball.
100%. No, but the thing about that is that's why I wanted to get you on the platform, is because you're doing things besides basketball. You know, if you look at the platform, it's not just basketball. You know what I mean? Like I see niggas on the internet with platforms, it's all basketball. We know we all play basketball.
So many different views
but there's other things out there that people love. And that's why I fuck with you, because you are outside. You see you in the mix in the industry. So, you know, for you to be, you know, you could have opened up a podcast and been talking to niggas strictly about basketball.
Or I could have started a basketball tournament.
Am I right? Yeah.
Called it a whole
100%.
A whole lot of game tournament. You got to have a whole lot of game to play in this tournament. But
100%.
That's doing the same thing that was done before me.
No, that's the thing about your podcast and your season 3 and 1 and 2. You got these guys on the show uplifting the community. And
leaders, icons.
Yes.
But you got to have the 3 C's. See, that's the key to me when it comes to podcasting. Everybody feel that they got a story to tell. So, you know, there's a lot of guys that say to me, yo, hey, you know, why you ain't interview me, or I would love to be on your show. But with me, you got to have the 3 C's on your resume, which all of us, whether you're an athlete, you're an entertainer, whatever you are, you got to have the 3 C's to be on my show. And it's, you have to have a career of consistency against competition. That's why can't nobody take my legendary status away from me, because it's like when I came in Rucker, I lost my first year in the playoff, in the first round of the playoffs. My second year, I lost in the championship. My third year, I won. My fourth year, I won. My fifth year, I won. My sixth year, I won. So they named me 357. You see what I'm saying? In 7 years, I went to the championship 5 times and I won 3.
Facts.
But the point I'm trying to make to you is when you look at a career, Google it. It'll tell you a career is considered 30 to 40 years. But now they're saying if you did 15, that's really good. So I would say if you did 8, 9, 10 years consistently against competition and you had a career killing, nah, man, you deserve to be called a legend.
That's a fact. A nigga get a ring, you gotta say it.
Most people played, most people didn't win rings, and most people didn't really play against what people can judge.
They didn't have the right matchups. 100%.
So when you hear people say, well, PSAL ain't have as much competition as Catholic school. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because you could say Catholic school, from what I heard, was guys say, well, 5 guys that started, they all went high D1. PSAL, only maybe 1 or 2 on that starting 5 went D1. And it's because the level of competition that was played. You get what I'm trying to say? Like if you playing against Christ the King, Rice High School, all of these different powerhouses, I could see why maybe those guys were being looked at like that versus what was in PSAL. But that's a whole nother conversation, because system-wise, with the education system and the pay wage of who can get scholarships, that also is what separated which people got opportunities and which
100%.
That's why I love speaking so highly about Riverside and Gauchos, because even though people looked at, rest in peace, Mr. Loich, with those scandals and stuff, he touched a lot of lives, no homo, in a different way. Facts. He helped a lot of kids change their lives and save their lives by making sure that they went to school.
100%.
It shouldn't have never been at that price for what we've learned about him. But at the end of the day, to me, if you could always look at the good of what someone did.
He outweighed the helping the kids more than what he did.
I really can't say that 100%. Because who are we to judge that?
Nah,
you know
right.
what I mean? Especially in the world today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we both know
So that's
100%.
what I'm saying. Like with me,
100%.
How would you still want to remember him? And I'm saying that I'd rather remember, like you just
him
said,
help some,
and all of the help.
He helped a lot of families. Some niggas wouldn't have nothing if it wasn't for him.
Almeida at Gauchos, they helped a lot of families.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, I want to go back to this Big L situation, because this it sort of, you know, could lead up to, you know, the answering of you said that they helped you formulate A Butter. So do you have any stories or any memorabilia of, you know, anything just like you said, running up the block, seeing Big L, Cameron, you know, anything that that you will never forget, you know, like that.
In 39th Street Park, I would say, you know, the courts now go this way. But when we were all coming up, it was going from 39th to 40th, not Lenox to 7th. So back then, you know, you could always go into this park and you could always see these guys playing dice, or you could always see them playing cards. And the one thing that I always remembered about Big L, he couldn't wait to be outside to argue with you about Michael Jordan. I'm trying to tell you, if there's one thing that, you know, his family, you know, rest in peace, his big brother, Big Lee, you know, Big Lee and rest in peace, Reg, all of these guys, if you ever seen the NFL.
Of course, all over YouTube,
you know what I'm saying? Like, those guys were the guys that, when I was younger, I ran to the store for. I'd go to the store for them, go buy their Jamaican food, and come back, and they'll give you $20. $20 back then was like $100.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, to be able to be loved and used like that by the people that I seen showing the love and being able to have the power in the community, I always gravitated to that. But like I said, you know, as you get older, you have to learn how you want to give that back. And like I said, I've watched Cameron be able to take the level of success knowing that we lost Big L. I've watched Cam and Mase, you know, take the level of success to a whole nother level, you know, coming from Harlem, and how you can expand and be successful in so many different ways, you know what I mean, coming from Harlem. Mase, you know, we're getting into being a pastor and rapping and things of that nature, and seeing Cameron with fashion and liquor and weed and pink horsepower. And to me, I'm just saying that I've always seen guys that I was connected to and close to always show me how to reinvent themselves, how to keep showing that, you know, they're not just supposed to be looked at this way, like chameleons. You get what I'm saying? So I was always a big fan of, you know, being surrounded around that.
Facts. Nah, that's crazy. Nah, because Big L, you know, he's one of them dudes. Now, let's go back to the NFL. You ever went to one of them classic, because I seen this shit on YouTube, man, and I said, fuck, I wish I could have seen that. Them basketball games.
You never, yo, let me tell you something. Y'all didn't get a chance to see these type of things in person. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying.
My man, one of the biggest games that I ever saw was Final Four. You got to hear these crews. They were crews back then. So same gang, Final Four. I'm trying to think of the other one, BBO. Like, there were so many different ones, but they all came to play against each other in 39th Street Park.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I would say that I grew up where the hustlers were the ones that took care of the communities and paid for everything when it came to the tournaments in the neighborhood, the block parties. They made sure that, you know, no one was outside begging, because everybody should always be eaten, helped, or put in a position. So because I saw that, even though those people were judged just because of how they were able to supply that, I still, like I said, learned for the better from watching all of that stuff.
No, that's a fact. Yeah, because I saw this shit on YouTube. The funny thing about them guys on the cover of that thing, these niggas had on the fresh Air Force Ones with the blue check, with the blue straps. We talking 93. The swag was unbelievable.
You remember the
jerseys on.
Nordica car? The Nordica Jeeps?
Hell yeah, of course.
They had the Nordica Jeeps on my block, my man.
Wow.
They had the MPVs.
Facts. The motherfucking passenger vehicles.
You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, when the Navigator first came out, the Escalades and all of that, like, they had all of that stuff lined up on my block, man. I couldn't believe. Cameron had like a multicolored 600 Benz.
Damn.
Orange, yellow, like when you drive in the sun, it changed all of these different colors. Like, it was just ill, man, when I was watching guys, you know what I mean? Just doing my neighborhood.
So now when you coming up, you say you go to the store, give you $20. We know NFL's them dudes out here. You say Big L, growing up in Harlem, watching him in the park. Now, on the other side, did you ever, what was running through your mind? Like, were you thinking, like, do I need to play basketball? Am I gonna get out here with these guys? Because no, there's never been a story of A Butter being in the streets. It always seemed like you've been a positive dude the whole time, play basketball, but outside, know all the street dudes, but never ever really, I've never heard no stories like that of, I've always heard of you, doing the right thing, even though they say the most notorious guys are like that, you know what I'm saying? But, that's why I had to ask you this, because every interview that I watched on you on YouTube, they were all about these matchups in and Rucker.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking the whole time, okay, I met this guy junior, senior year of my career. So you know what I'm saying? And he was one of them dudes playing on the circuit. So I'm thinking, what the hell? I knew everybody. First of all, the basketball world is small. It starts at a young age, starts at the Gauchos program, 7 years old with Big Russ. And then you tend to know the same niggas the whole time.
That's right.
So then when you see a guy like yourself, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell was Butter doing all these years? Now you're telling me you running around in the park with fucking Big L, Mase, Cameron, and them. Did you think at any time that you wanted to get into the entertainment business? Because all of them were in the business then, or they were just in the streets?
Nah, they were in the streets. They were in the business. Like Big L was in the business, like with digging in the crates at that time. He was around probably like the most famous at the moment, Children of the Corn with Herb McGruff, Cam, Mase. It was like Big L had like the biggest buzz, but you could see that kind of like Mase was up next. Cam was right with all of them because they all was together, like they all chilled together that I saw. So when you talk about all of them and you think I had to learn from what was before me, all of those guys got me by at least 4, 5, 6 years, at least. So, you know, with that being said, I would say my dad, rest in peace to my father was a big gambler. My father's name was Iceman. Now, these are things that you learn as you get older. But all of those guys that I just told you about, all of the hustlers, everybody, they all, back then, they all hung out in the gambling spots. So they all knew my father. So a lot of guys like made sure that they showed me love and protect me because my father wasn't one of those guys like to play with. They knew my dad wasn't on no. And I guess how my dad carried himself and how he was in the gambling spot, people knew not to play with him like that. So I guess that trickled down to his son. You get what I'm saying? To where I never was approached like to deal with drugs, sell drugs. I never was approached to, you know, not go and make the right choices. You get what I'm saying? I was always pushed and motivated in my community to do the right things. And like I said, whether that was the stronghold from my father, rest in peace to my older brother, my oldest brother. My mom's had 3 sons. My oldest brother, he was like that in the street. You know, a lot of people knew who my brother George was, you know, George Jr. So, you know, he was like that. But like I said, once again, being the youngest kid, my other middle brother, he kind of like dibbled and dabbled in that world. You know what I mean? But I also watched him get away from that. So all of that stuff inspired me to like go another route. You know what I mean? Like I always tried to do different than what I seen everybody else do. If everybody else going this way, I'm crossing the street. I don't want to be around and do what everybody else doing. So I felt like there was something that I wanted to chase when I seen basketball, because like I said, those older guys that I just told you, Big L, TC, Whitey, Reg, all of these guys, Big Lee, Rick Roos.
Yo, it's crazy. You naming all the names from YouTube.
Yo, I'm telling you, but look, all of these guys, you got to understand, I saw all of these guys come in. So if I played for St. Mark's was the gym that those older guys, NFL and everybody came to at nighttime to play. So if my junior and seniors practice is over at 9, 10 o'clock, they get the gym from 10 to 1. So there were times that I used to get in trouble by my father because I'm coming in the house at 12 midnight because I tried to stay after to play with them, but I had a curfew at 11 o'clock on a school night. Facts. But I'm in the gym getting knocked into the stage, knocked into the wall. Like, you know, shout out to my man Rick Roos from 140 or 40 Wolves. He didn't play. Like when you talk about an enforcer in the street, imagine what he was on the court, and he's brolic, he's dingy. So it's like, let him knock you over and then you turn around and try to say something back to him. These is gangsters, bro. So I grew up with the gangsters. You get what I'm saying? But there was a level of respect that they had for me that I also had for them, that they never had to like put their hands on me, or I never like made them feel like they needed to. But I learned so much from playing against them to where when I went away to school and I got stronger, I really wanted to come back and show them grown ass men I was just as strong as them now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the fact. Nah, 100%. Nah, 100%. Nah, man, growing up in Harlem, man, in the 80s and 90s, it's a different type of skin.
Imagine seeing all of these cars, imagine seeing all of these stars. And like I said, you know, you can get lost in that because you know, nowadays when you listen to people, a lot of people are upset that they feel like other people's success should have been their success. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are mad that people that, you know, have been, as they would look at it, saying that they've been blessed, why is it that they're not coming back and helping them? But I also understand that that is kind of like where the disconnect is between the younger generation and the older generation. Mm-hmm. The younger generation don't feel like the older generation opened doors for them. They don't feel like you came back and gave them a baton. Why? Because if you listen to a lot of older people today, they want their credit. I don't know if social media or all this attention gave them that, but I thought that those older people did what they did to see kids become successful. So why are they all looking for their credit today?
That's what I'm saying.
But I also want you to understand the flip side of that is that's why this younger generation don't care about history and they're making their own. Because look at what you did.
Facts.
You didn't make them feel like it was for them. Now that you all looking for this credit, I thought it was for y'all to help and make a difference for us. So, you know, I pay attention to a lot of that stuff when it comes to success and learning from what was before me. That's why I say know your history. Most people think butter say butter never forgets, as if I'm only remembering the bad that you did. But I remember the good. That's what I never forget. I remember the good that's in people. Why? Because I know that God didn't make no mistakes connecting you with anybody. Society may have made you feel like you shouldn't talk to somebody no more. But it was a reason why God had you connected with anybody that has crossed paths in your life. It's just up to you to make it right.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, I want to talk about your famous slogan.
Uh-oh.
Butter never forgets. Nah, because I like that because off the back, because when we posted the flyer on the page that we was going to be doing this interview, you know, you replied back with butter never forgets. And I ain't gonna lie, it touched the platform because you said 5 months ago we were gonna do this.
Facts. When I saw you in the park, like I said, when I saw you.
So let's talk about the butter that never forgets. Is that something you want people to know that, you know, because it seems like, because you've done said it a couple of times, it seems like you got a thing with people not giving back to the community and giving back to, you know.
I think a lot of people forgot their purpose. And I think that whatever their passion was to get them in position, once money got involved, it took away from the passion and the purpose of why they were doing it. So like I said, I don't like to try to judge too much of the older generation. I'm trying to learn from it to be able to figure out how I can help and give back to the next generation because of that, to where I want the next generation to see me as a person that ain't gonna never forget. If I told you I was gonna help you, if I told you I was gonna be there for you, if I told you I'm gonna try to figure out something for you, that's what I'm gonna do. I might shock you. I might do over and above what I was. Why? Because I know I serve an awesome God that has done that for me. You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of us have to be able to see who we are in order to become the leaders that we should be, instead of looking for other people to be the leader that we feel or have been told that they should be. Because God gave all of us our own uniqueness. So we really don't have time to be judging other people. We really need to be trying to unlock our own uniqueness so that we could be the leaders for the next generation.
That's a fact. Now, I don't know if you watched any of the shows, but in the back of us on our shows, we got a Jadakiss jersey, which is a jersey that, you know, he actually gave back to the kids and started a program with us, with kids, sort of like a Riverside and Gauchos. He did it for a couple of years up until the Corona came. You know, they stopped the tournaments and shit for about a year. So then, you know, they stopped doing it there. But that's not why I brought that up. I brought that up because he gave back to the community for the kids. And I see that he sat down also with you on one of the shows.
That's my guy.
Yes. So Jadakiss is one of those type of guys. I'm not gonna lie, he gives back. He will. You'll see him on Thanksgiving giving the whole community turkeys. I seen him give niggas sneakers. I've even seen him come one time in the hood and give like people that didn't have stuff out of his crib, like sneakers. We're talking about Jadakiss giving out 50 pair of sneakers that were his old sneakers, but these are sneakers that probably been worn one time.
He pulls up.
With, you know what I mean? They were still clean, looking like fresh sneakers. So I wanted to talk about the interview that you guys did.
Okay.
Like Jadakiss, do you feel that, you know, having these guys like a Jadakiss come and sitting with you, that they recognize who you are? Yeah,
because they were there before I met where I'm at today. He saw me when I was at Rucker. He was an avid person at Rucker that watched the uprising of Adrian. He was there for Rough Riders. They were there in the beginning, so he saw a lot of my upbringing in New York. You get what I'm saying? So when you sit down and you talk with him, and like I said, you never know who's watching. For him to tell me, I see you traveling the world, I see you with your daughter, I see you going to church, things of that nature. It's an honor to hear those people that you look at the world, look at them a certain way, but I have a different view of them because of how they see me. But I understand it's also because of how I carry myself. Facts. You get what I'm saying? So one thing that Kiss always told me was, keep being you. Like you gotta love people that can see something that you don't even see. And like I said, it's the utmost respect when I hear it from people like him. We sat down and we talked, and the jewels that Kiss give you is if you ask him the right question, Kiss wants you to learn how to get over the hump.
Facts.
And when I say that, I'm saying that, you know,
he want to give a hand.
That's why I said that I try not to judge all older people, because, you know, a lot of his age bracket, they grew up in the game is to be sold, not to be told. You get what I'm trying to say? So for him to give you those jewels and him to give people the jewels and things that he's saying, we need more of that to help us not make some of the mistakes that we making. But like I said, you know, a lot of them, to me, they keep that stuff to themselves as if like, you know, you got to figure it out like I did. 100%. And to me, I believe that whatever was done to them, that was all part of that slavery mindset. And I don't think that that's what we should be doing to each other. I think that if you have an opportunity to put people on because you see their work, you shouldn't put yourself in a position where you would only do that if you get something from it.
That's a fact. Nah, that explains Kiss 100%. Well, you knew this question was coming. That's why I fucking asked about Kiss. Being that Cam is your cousin and Kiss is your man, you knew this was coming. Where was Butter doing the verses?
I was courtside.
Oh, you was there?
I got video on my phone. I got footage that people don't got. Like, you see, Cam had a beach chair. I got footage where Jadakiss sat down and laid back in the beach chair. Most people don't got. I was standing right there where Cam had his beach chair at. But me and what's my guy's name that does the show, that does the foot joint with Jim Jones? I Am Ray Ray? Yes. All right, me and Ray Ray was standing next to each other. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of video with him, but like I said, you know, that was a legendary matchup. That was a legendary moment. Like when I say legendary, shout out to my man Danny. You know, me and Danny, which is Jadakiss' manager, me and Danny chill, you know, at Londell's. Facts. We go to different bars and just be socializing and loving basketball. He was coaching the team up at Rough Riders. So me and him hang a lot. So we kind of like gave each other those eyes when he was on the other side and I was on this side. And it was like, you know, we getting ready to see our boys go to war. But
you talking about Danny that used to manage drag? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's my guy right there. Shout out to Danny.
No Instagram Danny.
No Instagram Danny. Facts. I got a chance to see Danny too. Me and him and Kiss was sitting on the crates about last summer, I guess. We were just hanging out. And Danny always come through. Got the Z, come through, get his car washed, everything. Shout out to Danny.
Word.
All right, so did you know that how it was going to turn out?
Nah, never. I am. Let me tell you something. I am an avid fan of DipSet.
Me too.
I understood and watched what Cam created. When I say I literally was a kid in Foster Projects at Jim Jones' house every day after I came from school playing video games with me, him, and Tito and Zeke and Duke the God. I'm talking about these are things that I will never forget. So I'm like, I'm before all of this where they are today. I really, really was in 5B. You get what I'm trying to say? So at the end of the day, what I'm really saying is, you know,
you knew your niggas was coming for war.
I knew they were coming for war, but if I'm being honest from being there, I just didn't think that the DJ was prepared.
Oh, you feel the playlist was off?
Like, that's what it was to me. If I could say that.
You could have came up with a better playlist for them.
For all, I'm going to be honest. I don't, once again, this is my slogan, bro. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Facts.
I came to one-on-one game thinking I didn't have to go to the gym and work out. And the nigga Jesse Sapp, shout out to my man Sapp, Harlem stick together, he won. I've never lost a one-on-one until then. But the point I'm trying to make to you is I'm quite sure, and I'm not saying that this is the same equivalence, but
I'm glad you answered that too, because Jesse Sapp is my man too. He went to school actually with my cousin out in National Christian. I'm glad you mentioned that. I knew you was out of shape. Because I would have went butter money line. I would have took butter on the money line.
He knows that. Like even when he was showing me he was in the gym, shout out to Hard Work Training. He was in the gym working with a trainer.
Facts.
And he FaceTimes me to show me this. And,
oh, that he was with a trainer.
And you know me. Look. This is me. This is me. I'm rolling up. I'm rolling up. Like, yo, you in the gym and I'm whatever, bro. And in my mind, it's like, I felt like I always was natural at playing basketball. But the problem was I was always natural at playing basketball because I was always in the gym.
Facts.
So once I stopped being in the gym, once again, you lose your passion, you lose your game.
100%.
So the shot you thought was always going to drop, they not dropping. Why? Because you have no repetition of shooting.
100%.
You get what I'm saying? So I feel like I lost that game and then they lost that match. Why? Because the playlist we wasn't prepared.
100%.
If DipSet would have came with the songs that they know, the city
would have turned up. I said the same thing. Listen, now I got a chance. This is the thing. I got a chance to.
I think the match would have been different.
Bro, about 2 days before that show, I interviewed Jewels in Jersey at my man's smoke shop.
Shout out to
in Wayne, New Jersey. They did a video there, and they hired us.
Feel my face.
Yes. So I asked Jewels. I said, Jewels, I can't lie. I'm from Westchester County. The locks are my niggas. They are the goats for life when it comes to niggas like us. But y'all are DipSet. I can't lie like if I say that I didn't ride around more listening to DipSet. They have more of, I would say, those type of records.
If y'all both on some hood street shit, the only thing that will separate you is how fly you get, that people will be attracted to.
Facts.
If you could say the Locks and DipSet is on the same level, the only thing that separates us is diplomats do it like they doing it for TV.
100%.
Now, that doesn't mean that
they more commercial. They more commercial.
That doesn't mean that
you're 100% right, bro.
Can't, but that's not what they do. Now, if you put them in the booth and you tell them to keep up with the bars, they might overdo it.
100%.
But what I'm saying to you is when it comes to putting Cam in them and Jewels in them in the booth, they gonna do it and they gonna come flashy. They gonna come with the aura that I'm just saying that sells it even more. So like I said, New York is always gonna, like they showed them, they love that aura. But New York was really looking for the vibe of the music that I feel the Locks gave them.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
They were looking for the gritty.
Hey, Tech, you heard them. I'm just saying, that's what the city
Who was the DJ for them that night?
Man, Cam's DJ all the time. I keep forgetting my man's name. But like I said, I I don't want to blame the DJ because I want to say that as a group, knowing that was
he played what they told him to play,
and that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that
not facts
that they wasn't satisfied with that, but as a fan, if you're asking me, what do I think that knowing both sides, what could have made it more competitive for the side that I know I'm riding with, no matter what? I feel like DipSet could have played the music that they know. That the city,
facts. This
is nothing. No matter what we hear, we're always gonna keep this in our playlist.
100%. Well, growing up, at a young age, like you said, playing in Rucker, playing for Fat Joe, interviewing the Locks, interviewing Cameron, interviewing the Ghost, being around the Ghost, period. And it's obvious you've been around Puff Daddy.
No homo, no.
No, I'm talking about as far as being around Puff Daddy, as far as like he had the team in Bad Boy. Just being around. Because I don't even wrote you. 20 years, 30 years of me being in the business, I've never once, ever seen Puff Daddy in person.
Only time I ever seen him in person was
I'm telling the straight truth.
Was at Rucker.
Right, that's why I say that. So, hearing what's going on in the game right now, these females out here, do you think it's nasty work what's going on with Puff?
How do I say it? There's a level of, when I say history, where women are, due to society, have been felt like they've been forgotten or excluded. So to be able to gain the same status as a man, I think that the Me Too movement is on a whole different level right now. I think that women are doing whatever they can, and some for the good, some for the bad, but it's all about equality.
Facts.
It's all about inclusion. You get what I'm saying? They want to make sure that, due to the society we live in, they're not forgotten. So I think whether some of those stories and morals and ways is how do you say it, vindictive, and some could be true stories where it can help others, tell their story. But then again, like I said, there are some stories that I think that, what's in the dark always comes to the light. It doesn't matter how long it takes. God is going to make sure that it's shown. You know what I mean? So I'm not here to really judge what that situation is, but to speak on those kind of situations overall, I would say that, women right now, they're moving in a way where I think the roles are reversed. Men today play more feminine ways than, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think the women is on some you got to do, you know what I mean? You got to do this and do that. But then again, like I said, they're looking more for, to me, sponsorship than, relationships. You know what I mean? They care more about that, and it's because, once again, that's another form of being forgotten. Yeah. That's another way of, I need you to invest your all into me so I can feel this way. And I just think that any human being, any person, any one person, that's something that you should want for yourself. So, guys got to be a little bit more smarter out here what we're investing into, you know what I mean? Because I know.
Yes, the niggas is messing up there.
I mean,
you gotta blame them too. They're killing the game.
You can't be mad.
You can't be mad. But if you got dudes that's spending $20,000, $30,000 on a chick, you can't be mad at them for thinking this way. It's also the dudes.
No, but then again, you can, and that's why I always speak about who's your leader, bro. You gotta, and I'll say that versus saying the older people. And I only say it in this way so that you can understand it, that when the older people don't put you on the stuff, you'll have an Anthony Edwards spending $100,000 for an abortion. You need other ball players to come out and have their story told in a way where it can help the next generation not make some of these choices. So I respected Sebastian to an extent with his interview where he was telling guys about, the marriage and being married and what the wife get to take. And as you can see, the Heat, they waited until Spoelstra's situation was dealt with, and then they hit him with the money. So that the wife couldn't take half. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is, if you're not educated and exposed to some things, you won't know what choices to make. So I love to hear J.R. Smith saying that, you know, a lot of the ball players, instead of them going to the strip clubs and doing, you know how many communities they could have changed?
Facts.
If they don't come out and tell those stories, if they're not being asked like what you're doing, these kind of questions, the audience, the people, the next generation, they're not being exposed to hearing how to make better choices.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So all you're going to keep seeing is a cycle of this stuff, because why? Who's your leaders? The people that been through stuff, they're supposed to be able to put you on. Now, that doesn't mean that people have to put you on the way they put you in position. But you can put me on just by telling me your story, and I can learn from that to not do that. 100%.
No, because the reason I asked that is because the nastiest work that I've seen so far for 2024, and you know, you not only, like I said, you're in the entertainment business also, but you're a ball player, so I'm pretty sure you had millions of chicks clinking all over you. I mean, I told you in Rucker, you always been that dude with the chicks. You know what I mean? Let's keep it real. But
you already know.
I forget this player's name, but do you know the guy, Matt Barnes' ex-wife?
I don't know her name.
I forgot her name. But she is now having a baby and engaged to a rookie in the NBA. I forgot her name.
So
she was on Love and Hip Hop.
So this is not Derek Fisher?
That girl.
This is the same girl?
That's the same girl.
Wow.
That's the same girl. She's now with a rookie in the NBA.
Well,
let's talk about that. How do you feel about that?
If you ask me, I think that is just exposing you to what some females see is a loophole in the NBA and the NBA players. I mean, obviously a lot of these girls, as you can see, they don't really care about the guys, because, you know, once adversity sets in, they just gonna go to the next one. And as you can see, that this is what they're doing. They're going from guy to guy. So you gotta be conscious of how much you giving, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, some guys, if we being honest, bro, a lot of these guys that's tricking is the guys that never really had girls in high school. They never really was
big facts
like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they never really was around it like that. So that has to speak for them, because like I said, what was before them sold it to them as if that's what you got to do to get them. So a lot of them today think, well, if those guys then was giving you this, if I give you this today, I'm the best ever. You get what I'm trying to say? As if tomorrow someone can give her even more or match that. And guess what? You didn't know that's what she was striving for.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
100%. Yeah.
That's where a lot of them is getting lost at. So when I look at like that girl with that situation, it's like, to me, I just feel like what they said, the snakes, they shed it. That's all they do.
Yeah.
They just shed it.
That's a fact. No, I'm just it's nasty.
It's nasty work.
It's
out
nasty,
there.
man.
It's not. But guess what? It's also nasty work if that's the work that you're trying to find. Like when you say with me, it's like me. I don't put myself in spaces and places where I'm trying to find something. So I don't really go to clubs. I don't really go to parties. I don't really do none of that stuff that I used to do when I was younger, because to me, that's all the stuff where you are attracting what was. You get what I'm saying? And what I'm looking for and what I want, I don't think I'm going to find in those old spaces. You get what I'm trying to say? The things we talking about, those are the things that we're going to find in those spaces. That's where you attract those things. So it's like when you go into like, how do I say this to you, man? When you go into like derby classics and things like that,
yeah,
you go into like how do I say this? When you going to chill in Beverly Hills right next to Nicki Minaj crib, just staying in your own Airbnb, you're experiencing a different space of people.
Big facts.
So I think that, like I said, the spaces that you choose to go, and it's a choice that we all got, but if you're choosing to go in those spaces, I think you're going to handle and deal with what comes with those spaces. Me, I don't be putting myself in none of those spaces.
No, I mean, the people definitely love you in the city. I mean, when they called you up, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to do the interview. I'm ready. You was like, at the perfect spot. And this spot is definitely lit, nice and cozy.
Look how I hit you with that. Like,
yeah, that was...
I'm dealing with a woman that I'm listening to tell me about how she is a black owned a black woman owning a coffee shop in Harlem, and it's like, do you know what it was like if you know your history for us to get space in Harlem? So it's like, if it's anything that I can do to try to like help someone, you know, keep rising and what they are trying to do, that's what we're here for. So it was like, it was only right for me to come and show love to this type of spot. Cause like I said, you know, that's my way of saying, keep going. That's my way of telling her, keep going. I support you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, man, they just don't got it, man. You know what I mean? You got everything it takes, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just knew that this was gonna be a goodie.
God is good. God
I just knew it. It's something about you, and I know that's why these guys are coming to sit with you. You know what I mean? More to come. Yeah, because you know you have what it takes for TV, and that's why I said I wanted to get this interview, because this is bigger than basketball. All right. What do you think about Charleston White out there?
Charleston White.
I know you're watching him, because I watch him too. He's a funny nigga, man.
I'm going to be honest with you. I listen to him, and it's like I said, you know, people have a way of their words. And if I'm being honest and I'm just being real with you, I think the world needs more of authenticity. And if I'm going to be authentic, like I know I am, I just believe that Charleston White at times is using his words for whatever power he's trying to seek, because of today, that's what you got to do to get it. So like he said, you know, when he was doing the right thing and saying the right things, people wasn't listening.
Yeah. Facts.
So now he's going to do it this way so that you guys can wind up listening. And like I said, you know, if you got to change who you are in order to get people to listen, you might stop doing anything when people don't applaud you ever again.
That's a fact. Yeah.
So when I listen to him, like I said, you know, I really don't try to like tune into people like that, because like I said, I'm going to keep speaking on leaders, bro. We all have a different way of who we look at and what we look at as a leader. Your leader could be telling you all of the right words, but if he ain't walking it, it means nothing. It falls on deaf ears. Why? Because the same thing you telling me, if I can't see you doing it, it means nothing to me. Whatever you trying to tell me, I got the right to turn around and ask you why you didn't use it for you.
Facts.
I mean, you wondering why these young niggas is looking at y'all now. These young niggas think that you could go and tell these young niggas, yo, shorty, listen to me. And I'm telling you, I've been through, why you didn't use that for you? Why are you telling me?
Facts.
I'm going to live my own life just like you had to live yours. So your best advice to the next generation is live it.
Yeah.
Live what you sitting there telling them. Why do you think the world today got so many motivational speakers? Everybody think they motivating somebody, and look, I don't understand how you think you motivating the next generation off of your failure. Where the fuck do kids get inspired by hearing failure?
Yeah, I know, that's
But
crazy.
Guess what? Someone's programmed you to make you think that that's winning today, being a motivational speaker, telling kids about your failures and helping them not make it. Yes, that could be true if you're walking a better walk.
True.
Once again, these niggas just want to do it for the money. I'm starting to see what everybody's doing when it comes to this motivational speaking. Niggas is just talking shit that they not really living. They want you to know something because it's them. And once again, they're staying in a world where it's, what? You still doing it for the likes. You still doing it for the attention. I notice you really not doing it to change and save lives. That's where passion come in. Yeah. But I understand the difference between love and power. My generation and a lot of us grew up with money, power, respect.
Facts.
So this is why a lot of us is chasing this money. But then you wondering why you don't got no passion.
Well, you just said it yourself. You know, going back to the beginning of the interview, you said NFL, they didn't encourage you to, like these guys are encouraging these guys to be drill and be gang members. And like you said, NFL, it don't get there is no clique probably in Harlem right now that is probably on the same level of NFL.
How does rappers go to this new generation now to drill rappers? Where do you think the younger generation came up with why they have to go around and drill? It's what they were listening to before them. And then the only way today to become successful, I got to rap about popping a nigga.
That's crazy.
But you really got to go and do it in order for you to rap it. So I'm trying to understand what was their leaders telling them of how to get success. But now you can see a lot of rappers all of a sudden telling you, hey, you know, my words wasn't really this. And now you see all the older guys telling them, hey, don't be like this and don't do none of that. But I wonder why everyone is telling the next generation what not to do, as if God is not going to give them their own lives to live.
That's a fact.
So if that is the case, why are you not walking the same thing that you're trying to tell people? I'm telling you that these are the people that I'm interviewing. Why you think these are the ones that I bring on my show? I'm really interviewing people that are really walking the talk. Not just want to get you to like that I interviewed this nigga that I know or want you to think that I know. You know how many people is taking pictures on social media, and when that same person you took a picture with, when you go comment on their page, they don't even respond back to you.
That's a fact.
Why you keep showing everybody you know these celebrities that ain't even talking back to you on social media?
No, and I noticed that about you. When you post it, they do talk back to you. You see them talking back to you on your page. Nah, but that's the difference, though. You got to reckon. These guys don't recognize that, man. And that's why, you know, that's why I had to get this interview. I just feel like, especially for my platform and for what we got going on, I need my people to know exactly, like, everybody's praising these people, but these are the people who sort of built the foundation for these people. And they don't know that.
And it's still going.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget that. That's the key. Like, you could tell stories, but I don't believe that my story as being a legend, it don't matter if I'm not doing nothing with it today. So I don't get no points about, you know, talking to a kid, telling them what I did at 17, and then at 42, you look terrible. You're doing bad. Like, what's up? You want me to believe you was the legend? You want me to believe? And that's what I said. I can't take nothing away from people's story. You get what I'm trying to say? But I want you to know that I learned from that. I couldn't see myself, and I had a conversation with Sham God. Shout out to Sham. He told me this a long time ago, bro. But these wasn't his words, but this is how I took his words and seen it when he said what he said to me. Don't become a statistic. When I heard another Harlem legend tell me that, only thing I looked at was, how do I look at today telling my child, hey, the Lakers tried to draft me, but I was making that money in the streets, so I ain't go.
Facts.
I love Joe Hammond, but I'm never going to be looked at as that type of street ball legend.
100%.
I want my story to keep going. I want my story to, you get what I'm saying? Like,
no, that's why, guys. That's why we're here.
He's another Harlem legend.
No, but that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
If I'm not going to learn from what was before me and try to like do something different, that if you telling me that that's what my future looks like. So when I heard Shams use the word, don't become a statistic, I had to change my life, bro.
Facts. 100%. Yeah, man.
Much love to Sham God.
100%. Yeah, I got a chance to kick it with Sham on the live. Interviewed him. Great dude, man. Great dude.
Real dude, though.
Yeah,
like, when I say, like, that's the thing. You need people in your community.
No, like you.
You know what I'm saying?
You and him, real dudes. Y'all say what y'all gonna do.
I'm glad that, you know, like I said, when it came to basketball, I used to go in the gym and try to work out with Sham God and Menacing. As soon as I come in the gym, Sham would stop his workout and leave.
Why?
Some people, they want you to see and do what they were doing on the court. But when it came to chilling with him outside, he never walked away. We always talked.
Oh, I love that.
So as I got older, I realized that it was like, how am I judging him because he don't want to work me out or let me work out with him? But it's like, we both from Harlem, and you will catch yourself. People will wind up growing up thinking that that person ain't mess with you because once you came in the gym and you had respect for them and you wanted to learn from them, they didn't see it that way.
Yeah.
But once again, you don't know what he was working on and what he was doing. But look, it makes sense today. Where is he at and what is he doing with the Mavericks?
That's a fact. Okay, only you know this. Only you know this answer. We need to know this for It Is What It Is. That's one of my favorite shows out there.
Shout out to It Is What It Is.
Who's better, Mase or Cam in basketball? Great question. And this is for the reals. Let's keep it real, because these guys argue all the time. Mase say Cam ain't passed the ball. Cam said that Mase wasn't open. Cam said that Mase was cold that game anyway, so he would have missed it anyway. So he said that he had a better shot at that shot. So, who was the better baller, man?
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I played basketball with both of them ever since I was younger. Cam is a better ball player. Mase is a better dribbler than Cam. Cam has a better jump shot than Mase. Mase was a little bit more flashier with what he would do versus Cam pump faking you, making you jump to the sky.
Yeah.
Mase would try to in and out crossover you, shake you, throw it behind his back, and then finger roll on the other side. You know what I'm trying to say? So
facts.
When I say Mase was a little more flashier, but Cam, like I said,
Cam was a dog more.
When I tell
he'd
you,
go get it more.
Hey, bro, I'm talking about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. He's calling my house. My mother, this is back in the house when you call the house phone. My mother's waking me up. Cam is on the phone. He's outside. Got to go outside, meet him, drive me to Jersey, and we just go play ball all day long.
That's crazy.
So it's like growing up with him, working out all the time, playing with him. Even Steph, like I have a story like with Steph. Steph, when he was playing with the Nets, I used to go and work out with Steph. This is why I always show love like that to Fat Joe. Fat Joe wanted me so bad that he used to make Steph come and pick me up and take me to go work out with him.
That's crazy.
When he was at the Nets and playing in the Nets facility and working out with him. So it's like,
how was that playing with Steph?
Hey man, like I told you, when you now that I'm older, when you get to look back and see the knowledge of what people were trying to teach you when you were around their presence, it was more so of you think I'm letting you dog me, but I want you to see how you can dog people.
Facts.
So don't worry, today you might have left and said, yo, I was whipping Steph ass.
That's a fact.
But in Steph's mind, he was mentally getting you prepared to tell people this is what you would do to him. Now, guess what? Do you think I would have had that mentality if he was stopping me? Now I'm leaving and saying, yo, I couldn't do shit against this nigga Steph.
100%.
So that's why I'm saying now that you older, you better think twice about what this nigga was doing for you versus what you think you was doing to him.
That's a fact.
Much love to Steph.
100%. Now, because the reason I asked you about the Mase and the Cameron thing is because when I interviewed Russ Smith last week.
Okay, shout out to Russ.
Yeah, I saw you interview Russ too.
That's my
that's what you got him all. You got him all. I can't lie. Yeah. So when I was interviewing Russ, we got to a point. Russ had me a little twisted. I was drinking the Mr. and Mrs. The bourbon, right?
Sir.
So when I was a little saucy, I said, okay, Russ, fuck it. Me and you versus Cameron and Sebastian Telfair, right? I got to take that back. It's because not for Russ and Sebastian, for me and Cameron. The only reason why I got to take that back is I'm washed, my dude. I ain't gonna lie. I'm washed. I can ball, but I don't know if Cam is working out.
If you said Sebastian and Mace,
yes,
then maybe you could keep up with Mace.
That's what I was thinking.
But I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think Cam is in shape.
You can't fuck.
I'm thinking about it.
You ain't gonna be able to.
That's what I was thinking.
I'm telling you.
So let's take that back. I like that one.
I'm being honest.
Me and Russ versus Mase and Sebastian. We might be able to do that. The only reason why I said we might have a shot is I don't know if Sebastian is in shape right now. So I think I have the advantage of having Russ on my side right now. Russ has been literally dropping 60, 70 points.
That's why I said that's a good.
So I got a shot with me and Russ versus Mase.
That's why I said it evens out right there.
Yeah, I think that might be a chance. But Cam, I started thinking about it. I was looking at the highlights, and then you said he was a dog. Cam might be trying to go in the box with me. I see that you said Mase likes to dribble, so I'd probably rather play against Mase.
I'm telling you.
You know, Mase, at least he'll be outside. You know, I'll have a shot playing a little lockdown defense maybe. But it looks like Cam's going to want to go back down.
Mase going to throw the ball behind your back.
Yeah, all that. I'd rather fuck with that.
Make you look back.
Yeah, give me that.
Go lay you and then look back at you like you ain't see all the ball. Like,
give me that way before the physical game with Cameron. That's why I started thinking about that. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, man. What's next for you on the table? Cause this is not the first interview we're gonna do, man. Me and you, we locked
already
in.
know.
Me and you, like I done said this to a few other people that out of about the 100 people that we've interviewed on the platform, there's 3 people that I've said this to, and you're the 4th one. And these are the guys that I feel that I want to build that relationship pause with, like the Boozy and the Vlad.
I feel you. I get that.
And that's me and you.
I get that.
That's me and you. You got your own show. You got your own thing going on. You interviewing the best of the best. But I feel you're one of them dudes that me and you could get something going and eventually build this up to 1 million views. So what's next on the plate for you?
Right now, like I said, I got season 3 that I'm working on. Like I said, I'm in partnership with Mocha app. Well, they're getting ready to come out with an app, and it's a financial service company. I'm helping bring services to inner cities, to different communities. Like I said, we pulling up. It's called On Our Block. Follow them on Instagram. But On Our Block by Mocha. Like I said, we're going to different communities with the people that I'm knowing, where they from, different spaces, different cities. And we bringing personal banking to those communities. I know that a lot of our people, don't know how to get loans, don't know how to open up bank accounts, don't know how to educate ourselves on financial literacy. So I'm taking the time out to use my journalism in a different way to expose the audience, the listeners, with a different way to look at financial literacy that'll help inspire and motivate us to want to do more for ourselves versus looking at what somebody else ain't doing that for us, or always listening to what the negative of what someone's going on in someone's life, or the bad, that even though it make you laugh and giggle what happened to someone else, but it doesn't inspire you and motivate you to change your life, to do better in your life. So I'm using my platform at this moment to build with Mocha and On Our Block to travel and do that. I'm also in the works right now as well. I started back in November, October on my documentary. I have a whole lot of game documentary coming out. I don't know if I'm gonna bring it out this summer. I'm still working on it because I still want the specific people that I want to be in the documentary. So, sometimes that's hard, as you can hear you saying, I know all of these celebrities, and the one thing with me is you always got to get them at the right time, because, taking people away from the things that they get paid for when it comes to their time, is very delicate with them these days. So, in order for something to come out right for me, I got to be patient with it according to, a lot of other people's time. But I'm going to make it happen. If not 2024, I definitely will have it out in 2025. Like I said, the podcast, season 3, I got my documentary coming out, and I'm also building at this very moment, I'm building with a lot of different, I would say liaisons, I would say different organizations, different corporations, different foundations to build a certain type of network that I want to be able to help shift and change the next generation. There are a lot of people that I know have been doing good work, whether it's videography, whether it's podcasting, whether it's rapping, whatever it may be. But I know that there are a lot of people that have been putting work in that they haven't been able to get opportunities or to be seen. So I'm utilizing my resources and the people to come together as a network to be able to help the next generation reach those levels. Last but not least, HBCU. A lot of our kids was always told about going to North Carolina, Duke. If you don't make it to those schools, then you're not going to be seen. And I'm about to incorporate myself. Shout out to my guy, Darryl Roberts. We're about to do something real huge that I don't really want to speak too much on, but just know that I'm about to get real big with HBCUs. I'm about to go on tour, so look out for me at all of these different black colleges. My daughter, Brianna Walton, she graduated from Howard University.
Congrats, man.
Like I said, Yandy is a Howard University alumni. My man, Al Cash, that gave me my nickname, Whole Lotta Game, his son is the head coach for Clark Atlanta, where Future's son plays.
Nice.
Malloy Nesmith.
Oh, he's eating out there too. I see him.
His son plays for Clark Atlanta.
Yo, and it's a good vibe in them
they're
schools,
like on
man.
an 11-game win streak.
Yeah, I see the crowd going crazy, dancing on Future's page.
You got Kenny Anderson. He was another person. Shout out to Kenny Anderson. He was on my show. I was on NYC Point Guards with him as well. But he is the head coach for Fisk University. And shout out to my pastor, Michael Waldron. He's changed my life from FCBC, First Corinthian Baptist Church. He's a real leader. He's a Morehouse alumni. So with those 4 schools that I just gave you right there, there are people that I'm connected to that I'm getting ready to try to build something very big to be able to get people to be more aware about what HBCU is and what it's all about and the power that it has for our people, because we're not really educated on that. And like I said, when I was coming up, I was told about going to South Beach for Memorial Weekend. No one never really put me on to what CIAA was in Charlotte. Now is in Baltimore. But to know what this culture does, and I thought it was fun to know that my own culture does that, and I didn't even get a chance to really experience it like that because that wasn't what was pushed to me. I was told to go to
me too.
University of Miami.
100%.
I was told to look at those schools. I wasn't told to look at the HBCUs. So like I said, I want to be able to use my platform and the people that I'm surrounded around to expose a little bit more of how good and beautiful HBCUs is to our people and how we can get the next generation a little bit more involved. I would love to see the top 5 players in the country all say we're going to be the next Fab 5. We're going to the same HBCU.
Oh, that would be crazy. And
That's
you know
a dream.
what? And but you know what? That's not a bad move, because if you take the top 5 and put them in these schools, they will win the conference, and they do have a shot at winning the whole thing, because you get better as you get confidence.
Hello.
So if you got top 5 players, the skills is there. Is the confidence there? You go to Kentucky, you lose 4 or 5 games, 6 games during the year. You're not sure with yourself in the March Madness. But if you go into March Madness 42-0, you got the confidence, you got the skills. It's the big difference. All right, man, we getting close to winding this down. But there's one last thing I gotta ask you.
What you need, let's do it.
Especially the guy that has 4 rings in the Rucker.
Ooh, me?
Yeah.
I got 5. Like
I'm sorry.
Kobe.
Oh yeah, you like Kobe.
So
all right.
pretty nice.
All right. So your cousin had these guys on the show, and they were talking about all of these best guards in New York City.
It's a lot.
Just by you saying that, you're pretty much saying that you feel there is no best guard.
I wouldn't say.
So who is the best then?
When you say New York, right?
Yeah.
We're looked at as the Mecca.
100%.
Right? And in order for us to be the Mecca, you have to be able to see all of the stories. That is the reason why we're looked at as the Mecca. So there is no number one. Those stories is what we are looked at as the Mecca.
You feel like everybody has their own path?
I'm asking you a question. If we only looked at one path, how does the next generation inspired off of one path? That's why New York City basketball is soured down now.
100%.
Because somebody's trying to claim they are the best.
Yeah.
We need to be exposing all of these great ass stories, all of these great ass players that came from New York, so that all of these kids behind them can be able to see, I got a chance to listen to his story.
Facts. I like that answer.
I want to have a story like that.
100%.
If all of their stories got to be looked at as this one nigga, I want you to understand. That's why we got drill rappers. That's why we got the next. It can't be that way, because what? You're making them look at how to not have no brotherhood. It's only about competition. And that's the part that I missed with competition, the brotherhood. Why? Because even though on the court I understood that, but I didn't show them that.
Yeah.
Like, I knew they were my brothers, but because of the way that I played, they felt like we wasn't together. But my goal was still to win. So only the real ball players that knew that they wanted to win, they rode and fought with that. The ones that couldn't handle that because they're used to people talking to them and treating them a certain way, I got hate from them. So what I'm saying to you is, if you can tell a Mark Jackson, a Shamgar, a Kareem Reed, a Lenny Cook, a A. Butter, a Sebastian, a Kenny Satterfield, a Andre Barrett, a Speedy Claxton, a Jamal Tinsley, like I could go from so many different boroughs, and when you hear all of these different stories, how is that not inspiring versus, once again, united we stand, divided we fall. We are comparing and dividing each other by saying,
nah, you're right.
You get what I'm saying?
So, no, that's one of the things me and you talked about before we did the interviews, that that's one thing I don't want to do.
That don't help. It
don't help.
If I could tell the next generation,
facts, I like that.
We are the Mecca because of all of these stories. I'm quite sure that Jay-Z or
you feel like
Cameron or 50 Cent probably could say that they the richest or they the best from New York. And you go down there to Wall Street to them stock niggas and they got way more money than them.
No, but let me tell you.
But I want you to know that that's what New York make you do. New York 100%. Make you feel like you got to claim to be the best.
100%. And it's the last thing before we get out of here. I agree with you. What makes New York, and we're going to take it from music, and then we're going to take it to sports. What makes New York, New York is, like you said, it's the Jay-Z's, it's the Nas, it's the
Shorty can't be inspired by me as a podcast and look at who you are.
No, you're 100%
Just because I know the stars doesn't mean you're swagging the way you do it.
100% right.
If we're not saying that the stories should make us the best versus just
100%.
Oh, A the best because he know all of these. No,
what makes New York is Marbury at Georgia Tech, but it also makes New York the 5 rings of A. Butter and Rucker.
Everybody got a story.
You understand what I'm saying?
Watch this. Look, watch this. With all of those stories that you was talking about, right?
Joe Hamlins, the Pee Wee Kirklands. You can't say who's the best.
Did all of those people have a career of consistency against competition?
Yeah, I agree.
Why would we compare it?
You're right.
Why would I say, yo, well, my era or your era or I did this or that? I'm just saying, how does the listener, the next generation hear that and can decipher that as motivation or inspiration? You know what he's going to do? He's going to say to his teammates and to the next nigga, I'm better than you. Why? Because the leaders before me made me think that this is how you got to talk.
Yeah.
This is how you got to be.
Facts.
We gotta watch who our leaders is.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No, I got you.
We got some real leaders that, like I said, we can give the people what they want. But what I'm saying is always remember, if it's not helping the people become better people, you have to ask yourself, what are you doing it for?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, man. Well, we up out of here, man. We got an hour and a half for Sauce. You know, like I said, this is going to be one of plenty. Check out his podcast. Man, it'll be out, would you say, in about another month or so? I want to watch it. I didn't see that JV's one. It was lit.
When you're dealing with production, I would say my first episode will come out March. I would give it. I don't want to give it a specific date, but if I did give you a specific date, I would say March 15th.
Nice. Oh, that's my brother.
I want to make sure that it's really, really, you know what I'm saying? Like this time around, like I said, this is something that means a lot to me, to make sure that the audience and the listeners can learn from this. And I just want to show them that there's different ways to look at success.
That's a fact. All right, y'all. Y'all heard it first. It's your man, A. Butter. I got to say, man, I want to say, you know what? I say this line a lot because people say to me, they say, you always say the GOAT. It could only be one GOAT. And I say, no, it can't be only one GOAT.
That's all you saw in the field? You only saw one GOAT? You saw a whole bunch of goats.
That's what I'm trying to say, man.
Goats, but
I'm not gonna be a fan and call one nigga a GOAT. I've got a couple of GOATs that I like.
How about this?
And you one of them dudes.
The GOAT for me stands for the greatest of Adrian's time.
Yeah. You know, let me tell you a story that you'll never remember this, but one time in UDC, they were like, we definitely getting out after this. But one time I'm gonna tell you about the first time I played against you. Our relationship, Shay Baby and A Butter. The first time we played y'all in Sickle 2, when we played against a lot of teams, like the matchups, you know, playing the Kenny Satterfields, playing the Andre Barrish, playing the Majestics, playing all of them, talking about for me, right? But when I played against you and Sickle, you guys, it was like, when y'all played us, it was like, there was no tension. It was love. I remember falling on the floor. You and Sickle come help me up.
Try to help you
do
out.
shit like that. Niggas didn't do shit like that in the city in that time. You know what I mean? So that's why I always look at shit like that, like, yo, these is my niggas. You know, they always show me love. And one thing about me, I was never in the city. I was in Westchester, so I was never in the mix of none of the BS. And you know, I love the fact that I could come and sit down with you guys. You guys are everything to me because I was from Westchester, man. You know what I mean? Even though we're the same age and same era, you know, it was something for me to come down to the city and play with you guys. And, you know, being on the court with y'all niggas, man.
Real recognized.
Yeah, real recognized real, my nigga. You know what I mean? I love basketball to death and I played, but y'all niggas was killers,
and
man.
you heard what I told you when I saw you, man.
Yeah.
You felt the energy. I
100%.
was like, you know, bro.
Great dude.
Anytime, we gonna always do this. And
Nah, we locked in, man.
This is for us,
That's
bro.
right.
This
Part
is
one, man. You know what it is. SHEABABYTV, A Butter. Y'all heard it first. We'll see y'all soon. We up out of here.
I holla.